Sunshine, wild ones. It's Bernadette. I am here with your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading for this Monday, November 2nd. Today is the second day of Dia de los Muertos, and as always, I just honor the animal allies because just when you think they're going to zig, they zag, and their wisdom is just so much more profound and ancient and mature. Well, at least than my wisdom. I'm certain there are many of y'all out there that, your wisdom transcends. And, I should be watching your videos. So let me know if you have your videos out on YouTube or anyplace else. But today is the day, uh, Mondays are moon day, or not moon days, pardon me. They are, well, yes, the moon day where it is all about your feelings and the root chakra is red, and it's a day to kind of feel all the feels. And so when I take a look, I know I'm stumbling a little bit, but it's just, sometimes you just got to lighten up. And I said that, I think, yesterday because again it was like the first day of Dia de los Muertos, where we honor our dead, we celebrate their life. For those of us that believe in reincarnation, we take a good look at that. Yesterday's animal was the phoenix, and now we've got another. Let me just show you the card, y'all. It's a cardinal, another red bird, another fire symbol, another enduring symbol of life goes on, another enduring symbol of faith. And these cards have come November 1st and November 2nd, right in alignment with Dia de los Muertos, right? So I, I always want these readings to be fun, and I always want them to mean something for you and to you. And because we're edging towards the day that shall not be mentioned, again, there are heightened energies, the emotional things are running very high, people are afraid. We don't discuss those things on my channel, please don't, but they're there. And the animal allies want to help us through everything that we need helping through. So, where I'm going with this whole circular conversation is, again, today is Monday, November 2nd. It's your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading. What does Cardinal have to do for you in this moment on this day? I would love to be able to take each day as a snapshot and have it be its own standalone thing. And in times you can, and your interpretation of that, it certainly can be. But if you're really reading, if you're really learning to read tarot, or you're journaling in your shamanic journey, your shamanic classes, just as you work more with the animal allies and animal spirit guides, what you should start to see is a story unfold. What you should start to see, really, because if you boil life down to it, if you ascribe to this, certainly in the tarot, the major and minor arcana make up the hero's journey, and Joseph Campbell. And I don't know, I've read an awful lot about the hero's journey. It's something I really personally resonate with. I kind of see our whole life as the hero's journey. Each life is kind of its own hero's journey. So when you think about the bird that showed up yesterday, that fiery red and orange and gold hues, it being the sunbird, it bringing in the energy of the sun from Sunday. Now we're in the moon for Monday. And when you even go back to Saturday, to Samhain, where it was Jaguar, and it's about that movement of the sun across the sky, and just all of that. All of these animals are tying in together with the colors of the season, the orange, the golds, the reds, the fire colors. They're tying in with the planetary influences of the day. Certainly, when you're looking at a red cardinal, you're looking at the root chakra. You know that today is not a day to be all like, "Ooh, wah, 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 wah," in my feels and lose control. It's a day to be grounded. It's a day to be rooted to the earth. Now, what do cardinals have to do with any celebration of the dead, or people, or animals, or anybody, anything any near and dear to us? It could have been your prized, Confederate rose bush, or your prized tulip. And I mentioned Confederate roses. They're really big here in the South. They're biggest dinner plates. Lordy, my mom always wanted to be able to grow them. My mama couldn't grow, y'all. She didn't even have a black thumb. I don't even think she had thumbs. She just couldn't grow anything, much as she wanted to. And so, an embarrassment to her as a Southern woman, can I just tell you? But, cardinals have always been associated, and it's thought because, blood is red, that's your family ties. Way back in the Roman Catholic Church and still now, those red robes that the priests wear, that's certainly a tie into your ancestors and whatnot. Just God and the church and family and life and death. And so today of all days, the second day of celebrating those who've crossed over, we've got cardinals showing up. So, you know, again, yesterday was about, understanding that you can have unlimited power available to you. And that even if you have just gone up in ashes and you're falling to the earth, that you can rise again. You will rise again if you want to. It's just a matter of wanting to and setting your intention and then calling in the help for that. The universe, your angels, your animal allies, your spirit guides, God, your tennis shoe lace. I don't know. Whatever y'all believe in. I got some pretty cute tennis shoe laces, so that's why I mention it. But Cardinal kind of takes that, I think, maybe a little less wild, more controlled, more refined a little more elegant in a way. Not not elegant like, you're dressed up for an evening out and you're in a cocktail dress as opposed to, your jean cutoff shorts. There's really no difference in who you are and what you are. It's just kind of the appearance of it and the mood maybe that it puts you in. So as you go through this Monday, all of the energies of the last 2 or 3 days have been leading up to this moment to make you really consider what what do I want to be rooted in? Is my root chakra, is it cracked? Is it cluttered? Is it broken? Is it not got me rooted down? Am I just like, wah, like a cardinal bird spinning out of control? And if that's happening, this is not a good time for that. Now is the time, if you do nothing else today, two things. Identify what's got you in that spin, because the moon energy, the feeling energy, that feminine receptive thing has got you, doing this. Identify what that is. Talk to it. See if it'll talk back to you. Now, let me say why let me give you some of the reasons that I say that. I when I do these readings for y'all, I tap into the universe and I try very hard to stay a clear channel and tell you exactly what I'm told to tell you. The hope again being that for the collective, there's some little golden nugget in here that makes sense for you and is helpful for you in that day and that time, even if it doesn't unfold until later or even the next day. When we talk about communication, realize we're talking about a bird, and cardinals are songbirds. So yes, does all the same hold true of, sing your own song, have the courage to sing in your own key, whatever lyrics you want to sing? Yes, of course it does. But that's a way of communicating. Here's what I'm going to tell you about that. I have watched more people go into shutdown in the past 3 weeks of my life than I've ever seen, ever. And it's like people that are completely unrelated to each other. They don't know each other. They've never met each other. They have no business, no personal dealings. And it always has to do when they're feeling so guilty about something. Let's say that you've got a job, and let's say that your boss is being a horse's patootie or making really wrong or illegal decisions. And you're like, hey, let's talk it out. Let's fix it. Let's say that you have a relationship of some kind. I have mentioned it, I don't know, a couple, maybe 2 or 3 times in the last few weeks. Had a thing go south with someone. They heard something, they think they heard something and they just went buck wild, and they wanted to vomit all over what they thought and what they wanted and what they didn't want. I listened to them out of respect and kindness and compassion and love. But when I wanted to have a conversation, oh no, there's nothing to be said. That, no, we're not doing that. Okay. And what that tells you right there is a lot of things. But what that tells you is you have a choice to make about communication. Do you want to press the issue? Do you want to understand that silence is its own form of communication? Do you even want to try to repair the relationship of any kind? Do you want to start a new relationship? And what kind of communication is that really going to take? Are you willing to sing your song, to say the lyrics that you want to say? And how do you want to say them? Do you need them to be fluffy and poetic? Do you want to just cut right to the chase? What personality type are you? What animal ally helps you, in your throat chakra the most? Where all of this dovetails back to, or cardinal tails back to, is cardinal is about family. Cardinal is about who do you want in your family unit. And you may not think of your bonehead boss, or maybe you're the bonehead boss, or even just other people that work with you. You may not think of them as family. I understand that. But when you spend 8 or 10 hours a day with people creating, accomplishing, communicating, working together, whether you like it or not, they're a family of sorts. And it's up to you to decide how grounded you want to be within the confines of that. There's nothing I'm going to even remotely try to do to try to convince this person to have a conversation with me. Why would I do that? They've made up their mind. And what purpose is to be served? What purpose is to be served? What their actions and reactions have shown me is that fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, Bernadette's a big idiot. They were never family to begin with. Not Bernadette kind of family. Mm-mm. And they were never honest to begin with. Now the untruths start unraveling. Okay, there we go. Yay, I was communicated with. I've got it. I understand. Wonderful. Now I can plan my flight. Now I can plan what I need to plan. Maybe you've been holding things in for a long time and haven't been singing your song. Maybe you've been singing your song in a way that is not understandable. Maybe you've been singing the sweetest song ever, but that person is not in a place to hear you or to appreciate your music. Okay, what you gonna do with that information? You got choices. And at the end of the day, you've got bird energy behind you. You've got fire energy behind you with that deep, gorgeous crimson red. You've got all of that supporting you. No matter which way you go, you're going to fly. Because when a branch drops out from underneath a bird, they don't go down with the branch, y'all. They fly. Oh, dang. And off they go. You don't ever see a bird falling down with a branch. They don't do that. They know they can fly, and so they do. So I know this kind of seems a little bit heavy, but as we move forward, we're already in the fall. We're in the time of abundance. We're in the time of harvest. We're in the time of reaping what you've sown. So it's no mistake. It doesn't surprise me one iota that, and then of course there's the Mercury retrograde, and it was in Scorpio, and now we had a double full moon, and that's in Taurus, and Taurus gets very fixed, and they won't move. They don't, change. That's not their thing, right? And then we're going to move into winter, where things are going to, die off a bit, die down a bit. We're going to be left with a lot of thoughts, just a lot of thoughts. And when I guess you could do those thoughts alone. I guess your thoughts could turn only to what you want for just yourself, but you're not surrounded by just yourself. And even if you feel like the odd duck out in your family, or you are the black sheep in your family, okay, but you can make your own family, and in the coming months, you're going to need it. I can't tell you why. There are too many of you listening to this, there are too many of you watching this, but I would bet a dime to a donut the vast majority of you already know that to move forward in the coming months, you're going to need a tribe, a family, people you resonate with, people you can talk to. And Cardinal tells you how to do that. Remember, in the cardinal directions, cardinal red is the hue associated with the eastern quarter of creation. And that is about rebirth. And the Native Americans, the Cherokee in particular, thought of cardinals as the red bird, the daughter of the sun, um, the tidings that come from our ancestors. You know, again on the medicine wheel, cardinal red, it's the direction of the eastern quarter of creation. That's about the sun rising. It's about new things starting. And in Asia, the ruby red plumage of the cardinal, that's all about the best luck. You know, pigs are really about the only other luck. Well, and dragons, very, very, very fortuitous omens. If you happen to have a red cardinal that shows up in a dream, and I know a lot of you have because I get a ton of emails about this and I get comments on the website and whatnot. And by the way, I did an elongated video about the symbolism and meaning of cardinal as a spirit totem and power animal. And the link is down below in the comments. I would really encourage you to take a look at it. Cardinals are always a sign that the cold is going to go away and the warmth is going to return. The warmth is going to return to the earth. It's going to return to your heart. It's going to return to everything about you. And that should be just so inspirational to you that even if you are, dealing with the heavy communications, and and really, please take a minute, especially on this Monday when it's about the feels. Please understand, if you're watching this video, you're empathic. You already know you're psychic. You're already either a practicing healer or want to be a practicing healer or shamanic practitioner, or listen, there are 9 million terms that kind of mean it all, but you already know that. And so please don't get your own feelings wrapped up in that you are absorbing what's going on in the world right now, headed toward the day that shall not be mentioned. Because when you want to talk about a communication cluster, you know what? You're smack. You're not even in the eye of the storm. You're part of the storm. You want to get to be the eye of the storm, where you're still enough to identify what's really your feelings and what you're absorbing from elsewhere. Because only your feelings, only where you're rooted, where you want to be rooted, that's all that's important in this moment. The chaos is not important in this moment. That's not helpful for you in any way. And as a light worker, it's not helpful for anybody in any way. I tell you that right now. So if you want to call on Cardinal and have it sing to you as a spirit animal, because the Eastern quarter, because the root chakra and everything grows up out of the root, right? That is hope springs eternal. If you're feeling down, if you're missing family, if you are, just coming out of the energies of Samhain and Halloween and then into the first day of Day of the Dead, and you had a lot on your plate with the thinning of the veil and the taking in the energies from all around that are swirling around right now, some uncertainty. Listen, when you feel down, close your eyes, put on something red, cardinal crimson color, and just listen for Cardinal to show up for you. Listen for that beautiful song. turn on some music, turn on some karaoke music, sing your own beautiful song. But at the end of the day, absorb the hope. It does spring eternal, and so will you. If cardinal is your totem animal, I find that a lot in people that do mediumship work. They just, for some reason, cardinal really talks to them in a lot of different ways. So if you're really feeling drawn to adopt or adapt, to cardinal as a totem animal, you very well may be either a fledgling medium and are going to be called to do more of that, or you might be just an old hat at it, and like I am, and you've been doing it for 1,000 years. But we need more people that talk to those who've crossed over, because can you imagine being a person who's crossed over and you desperately want to get a message to somebody you love and no one will talk to you or no one will believe you? You're like standing on the other side of this clear door going, I can't imagine how frustrating and hurtful it might be. So the world always needs more really good ethical mediums. Okay, so finally, if you are going to call on cardinal as your power animal, very powerful animal to call on. They're very sweet and really, birds are fragile creatures. I mean, even the cat, well, okay, cassowary is not all that fragile, or ostrich, they're big birds, but really, it's not like a horse. It's not like a rhino. They're fragile, but they can have powerful meanings and they mean powerful things. And they don't have any kind of problem putting up a fight. They don't have any problem speaking their truth. They don't have any problem sitting in the seat of their own power. They just don't, and neither should you, whatever that's going to mean for you. So maybe you have to take baby steps, but take those steps, you guys. One more thing. I know this video is running over time. If you've watched this far, I thank you. I had a friend call me, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and she went through a fairly ugly divorce, and said ex-husband called and just unloaded all over her, and she was just shaken to the core. And I listened to her because this has been going on for like 3.5, 4 years. I just listened to her, and she was like, it was just like being, triggered again and slapped back in time and this and that and whatever. And I said, are you wanting me just to listen, or are you looking for some advice? Are you looking for an opinion? She goes, I always want to hear your opinion. I said, I'm disappointed in you. She was like, I'm upset you're disappointed in me, but he blah, 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 blah. I said, why did he do that? Well, because he's blah, 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 blah. I said, no. He was being who he is. You provided an open door, and then you sat there and you listened. You took it. Because here's the power in that. I got a cell phone. Yes, I do. You know what that button is right there, or any button that comes on right there? That's the off switch. You get to being ugly with me. I got the power. I got the power. I'm going to hang up on you. And then you're going to call back again, and I'm not going to answer your call because I don't have to. I can choose not to. It was like dirt. Should have had a V8. That poor old guy. She never thought of it that way because she's still tethered to things that no longer serve, to communications that no longer serve. You don't have to be that. And I guarantee you she'll never do that again. It only took one dirt to go, oh, hadn't thought about it that way. Right. So she got off the phone singing, I got the power. And I said, anytime that you see that crazy number and you know that craziness is going to follow, just sing that to yourself. Self-regulate, sister. It's easier to do than you think. So, whatever's going on in your life, I hope you get rooted and you are strong and you put in those strong roots and you stand the test of time and you stand whatever fiery energy is coming at you. And I hope that you turn into the flamethrower when you're supposed to, and you fire that energy out when you need to or you want to. And honor today those who've crossed over. Reach out to your ancestors. Even if you don't think you're a medium, I bet you are. I bet you're a really good tapped in medium. And if you want to do more of it, just call on Cardinal. You might be really surprised at the dreams. Whereas before your loved ones might have shown up in your dreams as Cardinal because you weren't ready to see them or talk to them, but maybe you're ready to see them and talk to them as they were when they were here, and they might come through for you. So I hope that's helpful. I know today's video is a little bit long. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Get your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck so you can work with all your animal allies in a closer, more profound way. As always, you guys, today and every other day, stay wild.